The Herald Standard presents the Game of the Week. Tonight, the playoffs have begun, and the Beaver Bobcats have traveled to Belle Vernon to battle the Leopards for the right to move on to round 2. Belle Vernon showed their dominance early, scoring on the first possession. Larry Calloway converts a 4th and 4 to keep the drive going. It's 3rd and 19, but that's no problem for backup quarterback Nolan Labuda or for his receiver Anthony Bertram. That is a touchdown for the Leopards. Cameron Guess with the extra point. 3 and out for the Bobcats. And after a penalty, the Leopards face 2nd and 19. The other backup quarterback, Andrew Pasak, hits Hunter Rokkanen for a first down. Labuda runs it in from the 5. It's now 14-0, Belle Vernon. Beaver can do nothing but punt. Labuda returns the kick, but the play is not stopped with forward progress, and the ball is pulled loose, leading to a Bobcat touchdown. And it gets weirder than that. A muffed extra point somehow turns into a 2-point conversion, and it's now 14-8. In the second, another turnover by Labuda leads to a Beaver field goal, and it's now 14-11. A little redemption. Pasak to Labuda for another Belle Vernon touchdown. And they weren't done yet. A fumble by Beaver late in the first half sets up the Leopards for another drive. A big throw by Pasak is ruled incomplete. So, on the next down, he ran it right down the field to the very same spot. With seconds left in the half, Labuda to Rokkanen for a 28-11 lead going into halftime. In the third, the Bobcats still hopeful for a comeback. A long end zone pass is picked off by Larry Calloway. And that leads to another Belle Vernon score. And by the end of this game, the Belle Vernon score climbs to 49. And they win this thing 49-11, and Belle Vernon moves on up.
Jonathan Goose here for the Herald Standard Game of the Week with Belle Vernon now quarterback, Nolan Labuda, but you did a little bit of everything tonight. Now, you know, I'm going to go back a little bit. Jared goes down, but as Coach Humber said to me, you know, you guys were really still very confident, and you're kind of playing for him and such. But if you could just talk about how it's gone the last couple of weeks leading up to getting this start tonight at quarterback.
I mean, there was some adversity, but we really didn't change anything. Jared's been there with me every step of the way, giving me pointers and everything, so it's been pretty good.
And Andrew Pasak comes in. He can obviously throw the ball, and then you guys kind of have a little nice 1-2 combo back there. How's that been for you? Now, did you guys experiment with that before this game, or like did you do it the last 2 weeks of the season after Jared went out?
We've experimented with it. We're a dynamic duo now, so we got to keep that going.
And you're a junior now. This was your what start? Is this your first start
as a
quarterback? I mean.
Yes. Well, second.
Second?
Yeah.
And you started against Plum? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get in there. How was it early on? I mean, I'm sure a little bit of butterflies, right?
Yeah, at first it was nerve-wracking, but I let the running back do the work in the line, so it was pretty easy.
And this game got a little bit chippy there, kind of, with the guy getting thrown out and just on their side, and just a little bit of that. Now, when you guys have that going on and that kind of stuff, I'm sure Coach preaches you right to have discipline and just get back in the huddle. And I know they're probably down, so they want to, try to get under your skin a little bit. Was that the same type of situation, just kind of just play your ball and not worry about what they are trying to do?
Yeah, Coach preaches just to pride ourselves on not retaliating like that, so we just don't do it. We play our game.
And this was a situation where they were keying on Mason Pasco, and I'm sure you guys knew they were, going to put guys in the box. But you guys proved you can throw the ball, and then when you started throwing it and receiving, obviously Mason was able to get some nice runs. So I know a lot of people probably think all Belle Vernon is running and defense, but I guess if you guys got to put the ball in there, you'll do it, right?
Yeah, we have playmakers to do that, and it's adversity. We deal with it all year. So.
And defensively, you had an interception too. You guys, I think, intercepted him 4 times. I mean, can't ask for better defense, right? And I mean, not that's I hate to bring up a negative, but there's 11 points came off, kind of mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys, you just say, okay, you got to overcome those mistakes, right, and just get back in the ball game.
Yeah, we challenge our DBs every week because if anyone's making a play, they're usually making it on us. We think we're the weak link sometimes, but we always just pride ourselves and challenge ourselves every week to go out there and do our best.
And coming up at South Fayette, as from what my reports have told me, I'm sure you'll be the underdogs, but I'm sure you wouldn't have it any other way, right?
We're ready.
All righty. Well, thanks for your time. Great game, buddy.
Thank you.
And Jonathan Guth here for the Herald Standard Game of the Week with Belle Vernon coach Matt Humber. And Coach, you guys come in. It's like you said, they're kind of a scrappy physical team, and it got to a point where you score in your first 2 drives there. You stop them, but then there's that little bit of a problem with the special teams. They get the touchdown, but the kids didn't let any of that affect them and just kept playing ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key thing for us was based off of what we saw in our observations, and they're a team that we're not used to playing. They're kind of up north a little bit, and this is their first year in 4A. The key for us is we knew that they were going to be a scrappy, hard-nosed football team. And we knew that coming into this game, if you're them and you're us, they're going to do everything they can to take away number 21 out of the equation. And again, they put 9 guys in the box. They went to like a 6-3 look, and that's not really indicative to what we saw, but good enough that we repped situations like that this week. So they were able to kind of really stack the line of scrimmage, and that's when we were able to hit them outside with the passing game. So tonight was just a great overall performance for us because we proved that if you want to take 2-1 out the equation, we're going to be able to have some success on the perimeter with throwing the football and mixing our quarterbacks in and out, and going from spread to I formations. And so I'm just proud of the kids and how we really just kind of we threw a lot at them. We threw a lot of different formations at the kids this week. We went from spread formations to condensed formations, and it didn't skip a beat. Paysack goes to quarterback, Labuda goes to receiver. We throw it around that way, we flip it, and it worked out. So it was just a great game to see how we were able to transition and to have an answer for teams when they want to stuff the box and take Mason out the equation.
I know you pretty much mentioned what your quarterbacks did,
Yeah.
but I'll show my stupidity when Jared went down. I'm not saying I was like, oh, it's over, but I'm like, oh, this is going to make things a little bit tougher. But as great as Jared is, these guys showed that they can do the job too. So I mean, I'm sure he couldn't be prouder of the way Andrew and Nolan responded, to not getting a lot of time at quarterback and coming in.
Yeah, and I mean, we had plans in place. I mean, you're kind of selling your team short if you don't have contingency plans when it comes to this, and we always knew Paysack was a formidable backup. With his foot and whatnot, he was a little bit of a question mark in terms of how much we wanted to put on his plate with everything. Because of him and that injury, we had to search for other kids, and it's as simple as taking all your kids and throwing the football around in a nonchalant manner, and we saw from jump that Labuda could throw the football, and so obviously we kind of knew that we had a kid that could operate the offense, and that's first and foremost. We want a guy that can be able to check out of a play that's bad. We want a guy to be able to take snaps underneath, take snaps in the gun, can run the read option, but then can hand the ball off and articulate the calls to the line. And he's a field general. He did that from day one. And we also wanted to sprinkle in a little bit of our Wildcat stuff too. Bertram, we didn't go a ton of it tonight because again they were giving us very heavy condensed box looks. So we were able to go to him a little bit. We have Callaway that it reps a lot in the Wildcat. So we feel like we have some options out there, and we're not a one-trick pony. And I think that's the beauty of the versatility that we have. And now we're in the semifinals, and now it's time to see who the better program is, who the better team is, and we're super excited to be able to play next week and take on South Fayette.
And defensively, I mean, pretty much. The 11 points were off turnovers, and
Yep.
and I mean, so defense and 4 picks. I mean, you can't ask for a better defensive.
Hard to put points on the board on the defense. Again, if anything, we contributed as a team to those points on the board, and that's not to take anything away from Beaver. It's just factual. And again, it's super convenient when they turn the ball over and our defense makes big plays and we get the ball back and we score on that. So it was just a beautiful game on both sides. I thought we defended the pass not great, but well enough considering that we've probably been on a few week stretch where besides Plum we haven't had too many teams that really throw the football. We had a lot of teams that ran the football, so it was good to kind of come out and see a spread offense and see some of the different coverages that we thrown at them and kind of what worked and what didn't. I think my defensive coaches had a hell of a game plan this week with putting the kids in the right situation. So just overall pleased with everything and excited for the kids.
And even though they had that game plan to shut down Mason, obviously you start to make some passes and things open up a little bit. And he still went over, well over 100 yards, which most guys would take that. I know for his average, maybe that. Yeah. So that and him being a senior and just all the other seniors playing tonight. I'm sure it's great to finish up on at this stadium, right?
Yeah, the goal is to get a win on this field for the seniors. I think that's any team that plays a home playoff game's goal. And we got special kids here, and I'm just happy to see that they could go out with a victory. And I can't say enough about the kids.
And last thing, when it got a little bit chippy there, your guys definitely did a good job of keeping their cool. And I know that's just something you preach, but just the kids didn't react to that type of stuff.
We embrace a chippy style football. I think our kids are tough, and I think that we have an attitude about us. And I'm hoping that attitude continues and keeps pushing through. But we don't shy away from a little bit of chippiness, but we do shy away from self-inflicting wounds off of penalties. And I thought, they had a kid ejected. There was a couple things that went on, and very proud of our kids actually showcasing what we preach and what we focus on, and that's not retaliating. I think that one drive where we hit a couple runs to Pasco when they jumped back in their base defense, I think we ripped off 30 yards in penalties to get us to put us in a good situation for him to be able to run the ball the way he did and get us down there and sneak Labuda in the end zone. So again, we recognize as a team that we'll control ourselves and we'll let them do the self-inflicting and we'll take advantage of it. And we did that tonight, and I'm proud of the kids for it.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Coach, for your time. Congratulations, and we will see you next week for the big showdown.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Matt.